introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Sherwood. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
To throw on 3rd down, Sherwood. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Off the play fake, Sherwood. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but the big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now Scarlett, down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And it's 3rd down.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Sherwood looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Darius Geis, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Good stuff. Keep going, man.
Let's go. 91.
Mike, 58, right there. I'm coming.
Now Gordon on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
a nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, it's Gordon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Ready?
From the gun, Jones. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Davante Adams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Set, right.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Scarlett on the carry. And an alley to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it with Scarlett. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Sherwood. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Sherwood. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Looking to throw. Sherwood. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
On first down, Jones. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Vikings 35-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
From the pistol, they run with Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that. Yeah, I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB. A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. This is the tight end, Njoku. The 40, 30, 20, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, 87 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Parkey with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
34, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you.
Off play action. Sherwood. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down. Sherwood. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Now Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On 1st and 10, Sherwood. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Walton. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Back to throw. Sherwood. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1 yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security #1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect it and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
Here's Gordon. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23. Yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 7, Jones. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Geis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
90 Wolf. Check 55. Hey, Zoo.
Watch the flat, watch the flat, watch the flat. Watch the flat, motion, pop, pop, pop.
Get it.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
On first down, this is Geis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and get it with Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On first down, Hilliard. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
Hey, eat. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Watch the safety creep.
On the ground, Geis. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Darius Geis with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away.
The Vikings take over.
Come on,
first
man.
and
Let's
10
go.
at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Sherwood looking deep downfield. And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. They'll run on first down. Walton. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
On 3rd down, Sherwood. He sets to fight, and this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. From the gun, Sherwood. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Walton. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Mark Walton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Browns on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing, Jones. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 25-yard line. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Josh Allen in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Sherwood. And he's going to go down again. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Geis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready, break.
All day, every day.
On 1st down, Hilliard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the